Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is 58 Keys Writing Workshop set of videos. I'm a writer, you're a writer, I tell you I happen to write something and then you, please disagree with me in the comments. I mean, if we don't have a conversation, we've probably got to get back to doing some actual writing. In this case, I think actually there might well be quite a bit of scope for, let's say, discussion and debate, because this time I want to talk to you about characters in science fiction and action. I mean, you get action novels, just not as action-y as films. This is probably mostly about films and television, but it's really thinking about the genre. And this has come up in my head because as I record this yesterday, I was working with somebody who was espousing, I think is the phrase, really, the idea that you don't actually need characters in science fiction or action films, or at least, no depth to the characters. Am I allowed to say bullshit at any point? Probably not, so I won't say that. I think though, what was happening there was a confusion between the fact that you so often don't get characters in these, or characters that are more than just bodies going through the plot, confusing that with the fact that you don't have to do it. I mean, logically, surely you don't have to, because if there are all these action films that don't have them, it works, so you don't have to. But I think the presumption that genre means you don't need characters is a fallacy, and I think as writers, unless you're a writer-director, you're probably not going to be all that involved in the special effects and the action sequences. I mean, I read scripts that describe the action, and some of them are very vivid, and then they're on the screen, so I could be wrong there, but in general, I'm thinking about the writing, and I'm thinking about the characters, and I'm also thinking about the fact that I can give you examples of when you did get both. I mean, I used to wonder about this. Can you have spectacle with characters that you care about? I mean, James Bond films, for example, don't go into that expecting a lot of depth in the characters, and yet Casino Royale had exactly that, and actually therefore I was going to say it's the only Bond film I like, it's the only one I can bear. I do like it, I've seen it a couple of times, haven't made it through the rest. Have a look online for the scripts to the 1960s ones. You can't believe adults stood there saying this stuff. Yeah, and other problems with those scripts. I managed to get through Dr. No, reading Dr. No, just by promising myself chocolate at the end of it. Casino Royale works because everybody seems real. It's actually a fantastical situation, and it's very violent, lots of action, but I think the action works because for once you're bothered about what's going on with this Bond guy. Yeah. Arrival. How about that as another example? This is just a blessed film as far as I'm concerned. I don't think you can say that it's alien invasion, but it's, there are big aliens. They come to Earth, the huge special effects, enormous spectacle, looks incredible, and you care about it because actually the story is not aliens coming to Earth. It's not the 100 other things going on in the films. It's about the lead character, Dr. Louise Banks. You care about her, therefore everything works, and it is so arresting. I love that film. I watch it every Christmas. It's not a Christmas film. One of the times I saw it was in a cinema at Christmas. In fact, it was Christmas Eve, snow everywhere, very scary cinema. Wasn't sure I should be going there at all, but loved the film, and the other 3 people in the auditorium weren't too concerning. It's become midnight mass for me there because it addresses so many points that really mean a lot to me as a writer. Okay, so here is massive budget, special effects laden science fiction film, and it cut deep into me because of the characters. Or how about this? I find Arrival hard to talk about because, well, I can't shut up. But also because trying to define it's about Louise Banks is a little difficult to convey. I mean, it's true, and I think that's all there is, but how it's done. You need to watch the film. Also, read the script by Eric Heiserer and Ted Chiang's original Story of Your Life short story, which is deeply moving in actually other ways. This is an example. I've got another example I think might be clearer. clearer for me to specify. The Bourne Identity. This is actually coming up in the 58 Keys Script Club. I'm where I'm examining one of the scripts in detail, but broadly speaking, you've heard of the film, you know it's a thriller. It's based on the book by Robert Ludlum. I've tried reading the book. I just cannot get into his style. I don't know what it is. Given up twice. Now, I might have another go. But there are 2 screen versions, and I can see it in your face. You didn't know there were 2. And that's because the first one just vanished. First one was totally ordinary thriller of no interest at all. It's a 2-part TV thing. And actually, I mean, written by Emmy Award-winning people, strong directors on it. It's, just nothing. And the film you're thinking of, the one Tony Gilroy wrote, and that stars Matt Damon as Jason Bourne, that's the one, not only are you thinking of it, but filmmakers think about it. The Bourne Identity, 2002, strongly influenced films that followed it, actually including Casino Royale. There's no question. Casino Royale is the film it is because the way the Bourne Identity worked. And the way the Bourne Identity worked was the character mattered first. There's a trick of it, if you like. In the novel and in the first Nothing TV version of the Bourne Identity, Jason Bourne is an amnesiac who comes to learn that he's a hero. I think any time you're reading a story or watching a film and your thought is, well, that's nice for him, it's probably not deep enough for you as characters. The thing with the 2002 version is Jason Bourne is an amnesiac who comes to learn that he is a very bad person, or he was a very bad person. I mean, there's issues there about going against the original story, but I think that small change altered everything. It coloured everything. Funny, saying that to you puts me in my head, there's another 58 Keys Script Club, I'll link below when it's out, about a TV show called Justified. And in the pilot draft script, the lead character has to go somewhere and he asks to go there. And there you go, that's nice for him. In the later drafts and as aired, he really, really, really does not want to go there, but has to. It's one scene. 4 exchanges of dialogue between 2 people at most, might even just be 3, but nothing else in the script changes between the drafts, nothing significant anyway, and yet that tiny change colours the series, not just the rest of the pilot episode. The series is changed by that one thing because it's about the character and what he needs, what he really doesn't want. I think you actually identify with his reasons for not wanting to go back. It connects with us, and that's what Spectacle doesn't do. I mean, Spectacle is incredible, isn't it? The things that can be done. Now, the trouble is, it's just, okay, that's very nice. The Matrix. I couldn't get through The Matrix because to me, it was only Spectacle, and I got really bored with Spectacle. Actually, I've just suddenly remembered the only film I've ever actually walked. I was watching The Matrix on TV, and after about 20 minutes, I killed the sound, so I just couldn't take that dialogue anymore. And I just watched some of the nice visuals for a bit. I think I made it 30 minutes through the end of the film. I also walked out of Superman Returns because I just thought, no. If you've seen Superman Returns, the first line, I think it's delivered by Kevin Spacey, and no human being would say those lines. Therefore, this isn't a human being, this isn't a character. Where's the exit? I lasted a good 40 minutes that time, but the Matrix thing. The Matrix, if you love The Matrix, you won't disagree with me about the Spectacle, but you might well argue the fact that it has this philosophical thing of maybe the world is fake. The trouble is, even when I saw the film shortly after it was released, as soon as it came on TV or wherever it was, that seemed like such an old idea to me. Like, been there, done that, very interesting, give me something new. There was nothing new there. So science fiction has ideas, and sometimes, particularly in print, the ideas can be overwhelming and the characters can be just nothing. It felt like The Matrix had Spectacle that got a bit tedious, philosophy that was a bit obvious, and no characters I could give a damn about. So, of course, it wasn't for me. three things in mind, if you don't mind me just carrying on this point. I think I'm coming to the point of belaboring it, sorry, but I also kind of want to recommend things at the same time. So I said that The Bourne Identity, without question, influenced Casino Royale. Definitely. Battlestar Galactica also influenced things. Not the original 1978 version, although that is fun. The early 2000s, maybe 2004 remake of it, the Ronald D. Moore remake of it, reboot of it. Stunning visuals, incredible action, very, very exciting stuff. And you give a damn about every character in there. It matters, and therefore the show matters. Therefore, you are really invested in that. It's an amazing piece of work in every sense for it. And then shortly afterwards, I think, well, a few years afterwards, there was a show called Stargate Universe. Now, Stargate Universe was the, I lose track, there are so many of them, it's like Star Trek with all these spin-offs. Third or fourth Stargate series. It's the only one I like. It's the only one I can watch, really. Up to then, I mean, it was television and on a budget, so it didn't have incredible spectacle. It had a lot of effects, and it was going for the big ideas for it, and didn't really hold me. Stargate Universe had people who didn't want to be where they were. There seems to be a recurring theme with me, and it also had better effects. It looked better, but I found that out because I cared about the characters. If the shortest version, isn't it? Isn't this the obvious thing? If the characters aren't someone you are interested in, you don't have to care about them, you don't have to like them. There has to be something there more than, I am going to do the plot thing next. There's got to be more than, well, that's nice for them. There's got to be something more, and when there is, everything else works. It's a shame that there are so few examples, and the fact that there are so few examples of it working is why I think there was this idea yesterday as I record this, that you don't have to have these things. Yes, I'm wrong to think that you don't have to have them, because plainly people have written without them, but it's infinitely better when you do have characters. It will always be characters first, plot second for me. Now, surely, there's a lot to talk about in the comments for that. Let's have a full-on disagreement, or just pat each other on the back for thinking the same thing. I'll go either way in the comments below. I do believe that's actually what the entire internet was invented for. You and me having a cup of tea and a chat in the comments. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Now write more with characters, and I'll see you soon.